yoga, which synchronizes movement and breath through a series of postures. So make sure you have a bottle of water close by, a mat beneath you, and space around you. And when you're ready, we shall begin. And we're going to begin by coming down to our mats. And you can sit however's comfortable for you. That might be legs crossed with a long, straight spine, or you might find that you prefer to kneel. Maybe you'd like to grab a cushion or something to sit on. However you are able to sit with a long, straight spine, make sure that you're there, and then bring the backs of the hands onto the thighs. You to push through the fingers, and then consciously take your breath deeper. Breathe into the belly rather than the chest each time. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Notice what happens to your physical body as you inhale. There's a feeling of lift and expansion. And notice what happens to your physical body as you exhale. A sense of release and deflation. Spend the next few moments just tuning in to that rise and fall of your breath, the inflow and the outflow of your energy body. Keep your inhalations and exhalations the same in length. This sets the rhythm for today's practice. When you feel ready, you could start to blink open your eyes. Good, come forwards and bring yourself to child's pose. So child's pose is a resting pose. You can have your knees hip width apart, they can be wide, or you can have your knees together. But what you want to do is really reach forward, spread the fingertips, plant the palms down, and then drop your forehead down towards the floor. So this posture, we're lengthening the spine. And we're also inducing our parasympathetic nervous system. Continue to inhale deeply and exhale completely. And the front of the body is closed, which makes it a little bit harder to breathe into the belly. So think about breathing into the rib cage here and the back. So let's start to now think about synchronizing movement and breath. So on your next inhale, what I want you to do is shift your shoulders to the left. Bring them forwards over your wrists, round to the right, and then exhale, sit back into child's pose. Let's take it in the opposite direction. Inhale to the right, come forwards and round, and then exhale, sit back into child's pose. So we're going clockwise, inhaling forwards and round, exhale back, and then anti-clockwise. Inhale forwards and round, exhale back. One more of each. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Brilliant. Come to all fours, knees under hips, hands underneath your shoulders, and let's find a neutral spine. Pushing through the palms, we're going to tilt the pelvis, lift the head and heart. On your exhale, I want you to push through the fingertips, tuck the pelvis under, and bring your chin to your chest. So we're inhale, arching the spine, and exhale, curling the spine, tucking everything under. Inhale to arch the spine. Exhale to curl the spine. So this is your spine mobility. One more of each. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Then come back to neutral spine and sit back on your heels so you're back into child's pose. Walk your fingertips forwards. We're going to take our chaturanga practice, warm up the triceps and activate the core. On your next inhale, you come forwards, bring your shoulders on top of your wrists, lock your belly and your pelvic floor. Bring yourself just halfway down, then push on the exhale and sit back again into your child's pose. Let's come forwards and down on the inhale, push up and back on the exhale. Synchronizing movement and breath. Inhale, forwards and down. Exhale, sit back. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, forwards and down. Exhale, push. Now on this next one, you're going to inhale forwards and then exhale, come all the way down so that your chest is in between your hands. You've got your knees, your chest, and your chin on the floor. Slide forwards, bringing your hands under your shoulders and your belly down, and then lift up into cobra pose. Elbows soft, chest lifted through your upper arms, toes pushed into the floor, shoulders back and down. On your next exhale, you can bring yourself back down. Now, if you bring your hands a little bit further back towards your ribs, tuck your toes under, shift forwards and roll over the toes. We can come up a little bit higher into upward facing dog where your thighs are lifted and your arms are straight. Now, if that feels too much, stick to your cobra pose. Good. From here, come back to all fours and sit back into child's pose. Counter stretch your back bend. So child's pose is a resting pose. You can stay there for as long as you wish, and when you're ready, you come up onto all fours. We tuck the toes under and we push up into our first downward dog of the day. So keeping the knees bent to start with, I want you to really think about pushing the front of the mat forward, sending your chest to your legs. Your heels are lifted, and that's okay. We can work on just dropping one heel towards the floor, then the other heel towards the floor, softening the opposite knee, just to see if we can get a little bit more length through the calves, back of the legs. Good, this is a wonderful posture for the back body. And when you feel that you can maybe settle both heels level, I want you to make sure that you have a long, straight spine. Sometimes that does mean bending the knees a little bit, and I'd rather that your back was straight than your legs. Good, let's now bring your left foot forwards and land it in between the hands. Bring your right knee down and just lift the chest, feeling that hip flexor stretch. Relax the back foot and raise the arms up, interlacing the fingers, keeping the index finger pointing up. Lift the chest, gentle back bend. Gentle back bend if you want to, you don't have to. You could stay just reaching up to the ceiling. What we're trying to do is increase the stretch in the right hip. And then exhale, bring your hands down. Tuck your back toe under and push back into plank this time. Plank position with your shoulders on top of your wrists. Good. Now knees, chest and chin down like we practice. This is your modified chaturanga. Knees, chest and chin. Push forward into your cobra pose or your upward facing dog, lifting the thighs, stretching the arms. And then see if you can from here push and roll over the toes and find yourself back in your downward facing dog. Good, so again in your downward facing dog, if you want to walk the heels down alternately, you can. Maybe you'd like to rise up onto the toes and really lift the hips. Before exhaling down, you want to soften the heels towards the floor and send your chest to your legs. Good, however you feel, you can warm up the back body here. Do what feels good. And then release your right leg and bring it in between the hands. Left knee comes down this time, look up onto your fingertips, relax the back foot. Raise the arms up into crescent moon, interlacing the fingers, keeping the index finger reaching up to the ceiling. So you can stay here lifted up or maybe gently arching back to increase the stretch in your left hip. Hold for another 3, 2, and on your next exhale, we can bring those hands down. We're going to step forwards this time, pushing off your back foot. Bring your feet together. Let's inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, then exhale, forward fold. Relax all the way down. You can always bend the knees in these forward folds. Good, relax down, dropping the crown of the head towards the floor. Soften the knees a little more and then roll up through the spine. Roll up through the spine. Should be feeling a little warmer now. Bring your palms together at your heart center. And let's prepare for Surya Namaskar. So shoulders back and down, soles of the feet grounded into the floor, pull the thighs away from the knees. Engage the pelvic floor, draw the belly in, and lead the crown of the head up to the ceiling. So we'll take 3 rounds of sun salutations. Inhale, raise the arms up, bring your palms together, gaze to the thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, leading with the belly and the chest, fingertips in line with toes, bending the knees if you need to. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. Now you can jump or step back into your high plank. Chaturanga leading with your chest, knees down if you need to. Inhale into your upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale into your downward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And we'll spend 5 breaths in downward dog. So spreading the fingertips, making sure your hands and feet are in alignment. Remembering that we'd rather your back was straight than your legs, so bending the knees slightly if you need to. Lifting the sitting bones up as you soften the heels down. Take another couple of breaths in your downward facing dog, and after your 5th, soften the knees and look forwards. You can jump or step the feet back into the hands. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. Exhale, relax and fold all the way down. Then inhale, come up, all the way to standing, palms together, eye line to the thumbs. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Same again. Inhale, arms up, palms together. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. You can jump or step back into high plank. Chaturanga, knees down if you need to, or if you have the strength, you could float and hover just above the mat. Inhale into your cobra pose, or maybe a full up dog. Exhale to down dog. Come into your downward facing dog and spend 5 breaths. Maybe holding the downward dog still now and connecting with your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your breath in this pose. Notice as you exhale, the chest naturally moves a little towards your legs. Increasing the stretch. Couple more breaths in your downward facing dog, and after your 5th, soften the knees, look forward. You can jump or step. Feet to the hands, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen to come all the way up. Palms together above your head, exhale, Samasthiti here, or just hands to the heart center. Last one, inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Jump or step back on the exhale. Chaturanga, knees down if you need to, chest and chin or float. Inhaling up, exhale back. 5 breaths in your downward facing dog. 4, 3, 2, 1. Soften the knees and look forward. Jump or step. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to come up. Palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart center and take a moment to connect with your breath. Deep inhale. Complete exhale. We'll sit back on the inhale into Utkatasana. Bend the knees, raise the arms up. Weight through the heels as you sit back. Let's have space between the palms and really energize those fingertips. On your next exhale, bring your hands to the floor, stretching your legs if you can. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. You can jump or step back into high plank. And then Chaturanga, leading with your chest. Knees down if you need to. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, downward facing. From your downward facing dog, we're going to inhale your right leg off the floor and take a single leg downward facing dog. Hold your single leg downward facing dog for another 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to bring your right foot and land it in between the hands. Come off your back heel. Come up onto the fingertips and then raise the arms up. And spend 5 breaths in a high lunge. Eye line up in between the hands. Hold it here for another 3, 2, and then exhale, bring your hands down. Push your right foot back into single leg downward facing dog. Now stack your right hip on top of the left hip and look underneath the right armpit. Bend your right knee, bringing your heel to your bottom. Single leg downward facing dog with hip opener. On your next exhale, you're going to bring your right leg across the body. See if you can bring your right knee to the left elbow and then open out the leg to lift the left leg, up and eye line to the top hand. So your option here, if this is too strong, is to put the foot down and continue to push up through the hips. Good. So whether you have your foot down or lifted, you're going to bring the left hand back down, come back into your single leg, downward facing dog. From here, you're going to step that right foot forwards again. This time, turn the back foot out so the heel is down. Come up into warrior one. A strong Virabhadrasana. A. Eye line up, you can have your palms together or you can have space between the palms. Hold for another 3, 2, and then bring your head forwards and come off your back heel. We're going to launch into a balance. It's warrior 3, and I want you to reach forwards, launch onto your right leg and take your arms behind you. Flex your back foot. See if you can create a long line from the top of the head to the heel of the foot. Hold for another 3, 2, then we'll step back into a warrior one stance, but we'll interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, humble warrior. Dropping your head on the inside of the foot, lifting your arms off your back as much as you can. Reach the knuckles up to the ceiling so you feel the stretch in the front of the shoulders. Hold for another couple of breaths. And then I want you to come up on the inhale. All the way up, keeping the hands where they are. Come off your back heel and then raise the arms up. Bring your palms together and then bring your left arm over your right thigh, hands to prayer. Look up over your right shoulder. Pulling the thigh up on that back leg so the back of the kneecap pushes up to the ceiling. Couple more breaths in your spinal twist. And then we come up and open out into warrior 2, pushing down through the palms and looking to your fingertips on your right hand. 90 degrees at this right knee. Hold for another couple of breaths. And then we take a Parsva Konasana, extended side angle. Bring your right hand to the floor and bring your left arm all the way over. See if you can create a long line from the fingertips of the left hand to the heel of the left foot. Option, you can stay here or you could rest, leaning on the thigh. For those of you that might want a challenge, tuck your right shoulder underneath your thigh and bind behind your back, and then look up over your left shoulder. Bound Parsva Konasana. Hold for another 3, 2. Brilliant. Let's join everybody again. Good. And from here, we're going to come all the way up and we're going to stretch the front leg. Now, you might find that you're a little bit wide in your stance, so you could bring your stance a little bit closer for triangle pose. Look to the fingertips on your right hand, reach forwards, and then bring your right hand down. Good. Squeeze your glutes, open the chest, reach your left fingertips up to the ceiling, and eye line to the thumb. Hold it here for another 3, 2. Now reach your left arm around your back. You're going to see if you can grab hold of the inside of the right thigh, but you may not be able to reach, in which case you could grab the waistband of your leg. Take your eye line down, up over your left shoulder as you use your grip to really open the chest, pulling that left shoulder back. Both legs are straight in this pose. Take your eye line down now to the front hand and then reach forwards with the palm facing up and look to your palm. Good. Keep pushing your left hip back as you reach forwards with the right fingertips. Then bend the knee and take a reverse warrior 2, looking up at your right hand as you lunge forwards. So you're lunging forwards on the right leg, but you're side bending back. Hold for another 3, 2, and then come back into warrior 2. The next pose is a single leg half moon. First of all, bring your right fingertips to the floor and then lift your left leg up and stack your left hip on top of the right. Good, so you can keep your eye line down, or the full pose, you would take your eye line up to your top hand. Good, hold for as long as you like. And when you've had enough, step back. Step back into warrior 2. And then bring your hands down either side of your front foot. Come off your back heel, dropping the left hip, and then opening up the right side into an easy twist. 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and on your next exhale, bring your back knee down. Option 1, right hand into the small of the back. Option 2, left heel comes to your bottom and you grab hold of the foot. Option 3, come down to the forearm, really open your chest and look up. Hold for another 3 breaths. Gently encouraging your left heel towards your bottom. 2, and release. Brilliant. Let's bring both hands either side of the front foot. Tuck your back toe under and then send your right leg up. You're back into your single leg downward dog with hip opener stack. The right hip on top of the left, look underneath the right armpit. Bend your right knee. And then options, you can stay here or you can tip into falling star, finding the floor with your right toes, squeezing your bottom, lifting your head, heart, dropping your head, and reaching up and back into your back bend for another 3 to 5 breaths, and then coming back the way you came. Back into your single leg downward facing dog, and then into pigeon pose. Bring your right knee to the outside of the right wrist. Slide your left leg back. This might be enough. Fingertips on the floor. You may want to come down to your forearms. You may want a forward stretch, head to the floor. Wherever you are, I want you to enjoy another few breaths in pigeon pose. Make sure your back leg is completely behind you. And you want to relax and sit back on your right hip, but without tilting. Keep those hips square. Keep the left hip dropped forwards. Take another couple of breaths and then come up, hands under shoulders. Now you can stay here and that might be enough. Or you can reach your left arm up and back and see if you can grab hold of the left leg. You can stay here, or maybe you might like to bring your first finger to thumb on the right hand. We can continue taking this pose further for those of you that want to. For those of you that don't, stay where you are. You can bring your back heel in towards you and tuck your toes into your elbow. The full pose, you would bind and look up. So a few options. So choose a variation of the pose which works for you. And when you've had enough, release. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your back toe under. Push into high plank and then go through your flow. Chaturanga, leading with your chest. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing. So we're back into downward dog. If you need to rest, you could sit yourself back into child's pose. If you're happy to hang out in down dog, spend another couple of breaths here. Good, now stay where you are. I'm going to turn so that I remain facing you for the next side. So you're in your downward facing dog. You're going to inhale your left leg up. Single leg downward facing dog. Flexed foot, hips square for another couple of breaths. Good, on your next exhale, you're going to bring your left foot and land it in between the hands. Come up onto the fingertips and then into high lunge. Raising the arms up, pulling the thigh up to lengthen the back of the leg. Let's take your eye line in between the palms and look up. Couple more breaths in your high lunge. And then exhale, bring your hands down and push your left foot back into single leg downward facing dog. So you're in your down dog, you're going to stack the left hip on top of the right, look underneath the left armpit, bend the left knee, bringing your heel to your bottom. See if you can make your left knee the highest point. Couple more breaths and then look out for the options on the next pose. You bring your left leg forwards across the body to the right elbow. Unfold the leg and the right side. You can keep the foot lifted or you can place that toe down on the floor. Look up to that top hand. Take the toe down if you're struggling. And on your next exhale, you're going to bring the right hand down and push back into your single leg downward facing dog. Now bring your left foot forwards, land it in between the hands. Turn the back foot out so the heel's down and come up into warrior one. Back toes are turned, eye line is up between the palms. Good, keep those hips square. Pulling your left hip back, dropping your right hip forwards. Good, then take the eye line forwards and come off the back heel. Launch into warrior three. Standing strong on that left leg, reaching your fingertips behind you. Seeing if you can find a long line from the top of the head to the heel of the back foot. Good, take another couple of breaths and then step back onto a flat foot, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, we lift and lengthen. Exhale, we bow down into humble warrior, dropping your head on the inside of the foot, lifting your arms up away from your body, heavy head. Hold for another 3, 2, and on your next inhale, imagine somebody's pulling you up by your hands. You come all the way up, keep your hands here as you come off your back heel. And then raise the arms up, bring your palms together. It's your right arm over left thigh. Hands to prayer, look up over your left shoulder. Find your breath in this deep twist. Find the rise and fall of your energy body. And after your 5th exhale, let's come up and open out into warrior 2. Strong warrior 2, eye line to the left fingertips. Hold it here for another couple of breaths, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. 90 degrees at that front knee with the knee right on top of the ankle. We're going to take a Parsvakonasana, extended side angle. 3 options. Easier option, lean on the thigh, reach over your head. Slightly more challenging, bring your left hand all the way down. For those of you that want to bind, drop your shoulder and bind behind your back and look up. So you're either here, or you're here for 5 breaths. When you've had enough, you're going to come up and you're going to maybe make your stance slightly shorter for triangle pose. Look to the fingertips on your left hand, reach forwards and then tilt. Left hand is down, right arm is up. Open the chest, squeeze the glutes. Keep yourself in alignment. Brilliant. Hold your Trikonasana pose for another couple of breaths. And then reach your right hand around your back. We're aiming to grab the inside of the left thigh, but if you can't, just grab hold of the waistband of your leggings. Continue to look up over your right shoulder as you really pull that right shoulder back, opening your chest. After 5 breaths, take your eye line down. Reach forwards with your left hand and the palm facing up. Good, hold it here for another couple of breaths. Really energizing those fingertips. And then bend the knee and take a reverse warrior 2. Lunging forwards on the left leg as you reach up and back with the left hand. Really stretching up and back to increase the space in the left torso. On your next exhale, you're going to take your single leg half moon. So you're going to reach your left hand slightly in front of the left foot and then launch onto that left leg. Open the hip, you can keep the eye line down, or if you feel steady, you can take the eye line up. Up to the top hand is the full pose. Brilliant. When you've had enough of standing on one leg, you can step back into a steady Virabhadrasana B Warrior 2. Before exhaling, both hands down. Coming off your back heel, dropping the right hip to open up the left side. Easy twist for 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and on your next exhale, bring that right knee down. Option 1. Left hand into the small of the back, look up over your left shoulder. Option 2, bring your back heel to your bottom, grabbing hold of the foot and increasing the stretch. Option 3, if you have space, come down to the right forearm. Really open the chest here, looking up over your left shoulder for another 3, 2, and then release. Let's bring both hands down either side of the front foot. Tuck your back toe under and send your left leg up into the air, single leg downward dog. Stack your left hip on top of the right, look underneath the left armpit and bend your left knee. Options, you can stay here, or you can take falling star, bringing the left toes to the floor, squeezing your bottom, lifting the hips and heart, and dropping your head, reaching up and over for another couple of breaths. And when you've had enough, you come back the way you came. Come back into single leg downward facing dog and then into pigeon pose. Bring your left knee to the outside of the left wrist. Slide your right leg back and you can stay here, nice and upright. Or you can come down to the forearms. Or maybe you'd like to forward stretch. Choose a variation of the pose to settle in for 5 breaths, making sure your back foot or leg is directly behind you and you're sinking your left glute towards the floor, but without tilting, keeping that right hip drawn down. Take another couple of breaths, feeling a wonderful stretch in your left glute. And then you can bring your hands underneath your shoulders, lift your chest. See how this feels. You can stay here, or you can take it further, right arm up and back, seeing if you can grab hold of the right leg. See if you can bring your left fingertip to thumb. If not, keep the arm down. So whether you're here or here, there is further if you want to take it. Grab hold of the foot, seeing if you can bring your toes into the elbow and maybe bind. The full pose, you bind and look up. Good, so whether you're here, or wherever you are, enjoy another couple of breaths. And then you can bring your hands down. Tuck your back toe under, push back into high plank, and take yourself through your vinyasa. Knees, chest, and chin off float. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward dog. And from your downward facing dog, bring your knees down and sit into child's pose. Spend the next few breaths in child's pose. And if you wanted to release any tension in the shoulders, you could bring the backs of the hands to the floor, palms facing up. Couple more breaths. And then we'll roll up through the spine. Good, so what I want you to do next, if you just bring your hips down to the floor and then extend the legs out in front of you, we'll take the next couple of poses. So we're going to sit tall with our legs out in front of us, and we're going to bring our left heel high on our right inner thigh. We're going to slow the practice down. down now. We're going to raise the arms up and then take a wonderful forward stretch, reaching forwards for that right foot. You can keep your back long and lift the chest, or if you have space, you can pull yourself forwards into your fold. Hold it here for another 3, 2, and then I want you to reach forwards again. Reach forwards and come all the way up. Now bring your left hand to the floor and your right arm across the body to the left knee. Inhale, lift, and exhale, rotate. Looking over your left shoulder to the back of the room. Lifting up and out of your lower back on every inhale, and on your exhale, seeing if you can release and move a little bit deeper into your twist. On your next inhale, you're going to bring your right arm up and reach your right hand to the right foot. If you can't reach the foot, just bring your hand to the floor. Your left arm reaches all the way up, reaching the fingertips to the ceiling, and then turn the palm and take a side stretch. Hold it here, looking to your fingertips, grounding the sitting bones into the floor. If anyone feels that they can grab hold of the top foot, feel free, as long as you can keep the chest open. And after your fifth, you're going to come up. And you're going to bring both hands to the floor behind your left thigh. Lift your right hip and bow down. Drop your head to the floor. Spend a few breaths here. And after your next exhale, you can push through the palms to come up and then just switch legs. So you're going to slide your left leg straight and bring your right heel nice and high on your left inner thigh. Raise the arms up, big stretch, and then reach forward. See if you can grab hold of your left foot. Remember, you can keep your back nice and straight. You can bend your knee if you need to, or just place the hands down. Lengthen and fold if you have space for 5 breaths. Bringing your stomach towards your thighs, your chin towards your shin, and your eye line to your toe. Good. Following your 5th exhale in your forward fold, you can reach forwards and come all the way up. Bring your right hand on the floor behind you, your left arm across the body. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, rotate, looking over your right shoulder to the back of the room. Find your breath. The rise of the inhale, the release of the exhale. Following your next exhale, left arm comes up, big stretch. Reach your left hand to the left foot if you can reach it, or maybe just place the hand down. Right arm comes up this time. You can look up to the fingertips, turn the palm, and then bring your right arm all the way over your head for 5 breaths. If you can, grab hold of the toes. Just make sure you stay really rotated for another 3, 2, and then up on the inhale. Bring both hands behind your right thigh, come off your left hip, and bow down, bringing your head to the floor. And if you can't reach your head to the floor, just allow the head to hang, taking the strength in the arms. Couple more breaths, and then let's push ourselves up and extend both legs out. Both legs out for our full forward stretch, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, big lift, and then exhale, fold. Grab the feet, lift the chest, and if you want to, you can fold all the way down. You don't have to if you're happy here. Stay here, bend the knees, lots of options. Don't even have to grab your feet. All depends on how you and your body feel today. Good. When you've had enough here, you're going to inhale, lift, bring your hands under your knees and rock onto your balance point. Lift the legs either to 90 degrees at the knee or fully extend. Find Navasana boat pose for 5 breaths. Reaching forwards with your palms facing up. 3, 2, and then bring your toes down, hands down. Shift your hips down and roll onto your back. Let's take bridge pose. Heels right next to your glutes, underneath your knees, palms down. Tuck the pelvis under, squeeze your bottom and lift up into bridge. Walk the shoulders underneath yourself if you can and interlace the fingers. You want your heels right under your knees. Good, and push your hips up as far as you can without taking too much pressure in your lower back. Hold it here for another 3, 2, and roll down through the spine. Roll down through the spine, hug your knees into the chest to counter pose, and maybe just rock yourself from side to side. Good, we're now going to go into our inversions. Couple of options. If you don't fancy going all the way up, you're going to lift your bottom, bring your hands underneath your lower back, and just let the legs float up into the air. You could even put your legs up against a wall if you wanted to. For those of you that might want to go all the way up, rock onto the shoulders, hands to your back, push your toes to the ceiling, squeeze your glutes, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Bring your knees down to your forehead, hands to the floor, and let's roll all the way down. Roll onto your back, but keeping your knees into your chest. Take your arms out to the side, cross your right leg over your left, feet as well if you can. Don't worry if you can't. You're going to drop both knees to the right side and take your eye line to the left side. Look in the opposite direction to your knees. Find your breath. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. Find that lift and expansion as you inhale. That sense of release and deflation as you exhale. And then come back up to the center. Come all the way up and uncross the legs. Bring your opposite leg on top. Cross the feet if you can and drop the knees down to the other side. Eye line in the opposite direction to your legs. We're aiming to keep the shoulders down, but if your shoulder wants to lift, allow it. We honor the wisdom of our bodies in yoga. Don't force. 2. Uncross your legs and let's finish with a happy baby. Grab the insides of the feet and allow the weight of your hands and gravity to open those hips. Feel that the knees are being drawn back towards the mat. Releasing all tension in the pelvis and in the hip joints. Try to keep your lower back on the floor, stay grounded. And if you wanted to, you could rock from one side to the other side. And then let's just bring the knees into your chest, head to your knees, and then relax back. Relax back into Shavasana. If there's anything else you feel your body needs to be comfortable, then make sure you do it and then lie back. Relax. Relax your whole body. From your toes to your head. Relax. Allow your physical body to feel heavy. Sinking back with gravity. Really feel the floor beneath you. Give in to the floor. You are held. Find your breath. The rise of the inhale. The fall of the exhale. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. Keep your awareness on your breath. And notice where your thoughts have gone. Should your mind have wandered, come back. Find your breath. Now find the space between breaths. Come to the very end of your inhalation and notice before you exhale, there is a moment of stillness. And following your exhalation, before you inhale, there is a moment of stillness, a space between breaths. Bring all of your awareness to that moment and meditate on the stillness. Enjoy the stillness. Physically still, mentally still. And then when you feel ready to come back into your bodies, take a deeper inhalation, bring more energy in. More energy, more oxygen for our muscles, for our minds, and then bring some movement to the fingers and to the toes. On your next inhale, raise the arms over your head. Hug your knees to your chest and gently rock from side to side. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your right arm under your head, roll all the way to the right side. Spend a moment here before slowly and gradually bringing yourself up to seated. See if you can keep your eyes closed and your awareness inwards. Backs of the hands on the thighs, palms facing up. Together, we'll bring this practice to a close. On your next inhale, raise the arms. Bring your palms together as we draw energy from our source down through the crown into the heart center. Well done. That brings you to the end of today's practice. You can continue relaxing though if you like. I really hope you enjoyed your practice today. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.